Alright, so in this video we're going to do a manual random sample. Um, it's kind of a long way to do it, but I want to give you an idea of what we mean by random sampling. So the first thing we're going to do is come over to our data page. We're going to add in a variable. I'm going to call it random parenthesis. And right here we're going to say this is equal to rand parenthesis. And what this function does is it randomly draws a variable between 0 and 1. Your random variable and my random number may be different. That's okay. Now we're going to double click. We're going to wait till the cursor changes. Excuse me. And double click on it so that we have a random value assigned all the way down. Now one thing about the random function, it's called an active function. So if I just hit the delete key, it recalculates. Delete, it's going to recalculate again. So to show you how this works, what I'm going to do is go ahead and excuse me, click here at row 2, do a Control-Shift down arrow key to highlight everything, do a Control-C to copy. We're going to come back up to the top, click on the next value, and what we're going to do is go paste, and we just want the number. So what we have here was the number that was there. And now if I hit the delete key and the random numbers adjust, my fixed numbers don't. I'm going to call that rand2. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and do a sort. So I'm going to click on rand2, do a Control-Shift over, being left arrow, and then the down arrow to highlight all the data. And now I want to do a sort, and it's going to be a custom sort. And we're going to pick on our rand2. So the first 100, in fact any group of 100 variables represents a random draw. That's because this number was randomly assigned to this particular observation, and then we pulled the underlying value from it. Alright? And we don't need the rand2 column. I'm going to go ahead and delete it. And that made an adjustment. We're just going to go ahead and highlight again and click on rand, do Control-Shift over and Control-Shift down. That's going to highlight everybody, and then we're going to do a sort, custom sort, and we're going to do a sort on our random parenthesis. Now our random number changed because we did an action, but our sort occurs and then the random number happens. Alright, so we want to get our sample. I'm just going to click over. I want 100 observations, so that's going to be at row 101. Here's my row 101. Hold down the Shift key, click down. So that's the first 100 observations, but because it's been randomly sorted, it creates a random sample, a simple random sample. We'll do a Control-C to copy. We'll come over here to our manual sample and just do a Control-V to paste. So here's all of our manually obtained random sample. And it is just a random selection of the 12,746 observations that were there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open this guy up. And we're going to go ahead and clear the highlighting for the grading part. And our first thing is, what is our count, our number? So this is going to be equal to our count. And then go ahead and pick on our claims, and this better be 100, which it is. And then we want our mean, average, and go ahead and select the same group and with a parenthesis, and I'm going to go ahead and copy this guy, Control-C to copy, so that I can do this a little bit quicker. And here we want the standard deviation of the sample, Control-V. Here we want the min, Control-V. Here we want the max, and then Control-V. So we can see our maxes are going to end up being different. Here's our range. We want the minimum minus the maximum. The number of males, that's our count if. select the male-female group, and comma, double quote, equal 1, double quote, end it. Didn't quite type that in correctly. This should be an equal sign. And it's got to be count if, not count it. I do make mistakes. Try it again. So UNT. There we go. So there just turns out that there's exactly 50 males. So our proportion is going to be our 50 divided by our sample of 100. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so it's easier to see, maybe a little too much. The number of females is obviously just going to equal the sample minus the number of males because it's the complement. The female proportion is just going to be 1 minus the number of males proportion. I need to put an equal sign here. Equals 1 minus the male proportion. The number of impaired, again, is a count if. Get it right. Click on our impaired number, Control Shift down arrow, comma, quote, equals 1, quote, parenthesis, and return. So we have 14 impaired. The impaired proportion is then going to be equal to the number of impaired divided by the sample. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here. When we come back, we'll go ahead and finish this tab and then move on to use the tool that we've included. All right, thank you very much. Goodbye.